Late last year, you mentioned you could drive a truck through the top end and bottom end of performance across the investment community. What are you hearing from those that outperformed in 2014?
Well, I mean, again, if you look at the performance divergence in hedge fund land or in long-only land or in any land, the truck has now run over the low end of the performance population, and the top end is just killing it. So you're getting wider divergence. Like I had 3 emails last night, one this morning, I haven't checked my email in full, that are just saying, stuff like crushing it, killing it. Then you'll get just a lot of whining from other people. Oh, it's so hard. And it's like, how do you make money? And it's like, how can you keep saying growth and the deflation? Stop it. It's like, stop whining. You just put it on, get yourself outside of whatever the heck it is that you used to do, evolve just a little bit, and start to go with what the market gives you, not what you want. So when people come to us and tell us what they want, it's typically based on their strategy. If they're a long-only strategy in equities, then I know what they want. They want longs. So again, just put the right longs on. And if you're underweight, the deflationary ones, or you're out of them completely, which a lot of people are completely out of MLPs, thank God, or definitely underweight energy, they're crushing it. I mean, imagine you're running a growth or income fund that isn't long MLPs and energy and actually went underweight industrials and financials. And you're long everything consumption. Literally on the consumption side, early cycle, one of our most important calls is long housing. Housing, I don't even know if housing's had a down day. REITs haven't had a down day. So again, it's an awesome performance period for people. And I don't think that this industry, and again, I'm ranting a bit, but again, it's football season. I like to see greatness. I like to see what Ohio State did. I like to see what Belichick's doing. I like to see people get out there and be excellent, not whine and complain and underperform for reasons that are evidently clear that you shouldn't be underperforming.
All right, that's clear enough. We just did this last.
This coaching thing, man, this Mite Hockey thing, I'm getting into it a little bit. Yeah. I'm a little easier on the kids.
You're good at inspiring people. What's the biggest pushback? We just did this last week, our macro themes call for 1Q 2015, but what's the biggest pushback you've gotten on your macro themes this far?
Biggest pushback's always the same thing. What isn't currently happening, obviously. So when something's not yet happening, obviously, we get pushback. So we get pushback on the employment side. Yeah, I hear you on the Texas thing, but I haven't seen it in the numbers yet. Okay. Well, when you see it in the numbers, there'll be no pushback. Again, there's a lag on these things, and again, we've explained, or I tried to explain on the macro themes call. In that case, in particular, you have to. This is a behavioral exercise. When you run a company, firing somebody is not fun. Admitting defeat is not fun. So when these companies really go through the 5 stages of grief, the first period I'm talking about, your run-of-the-mill energy company that thought that you'd have oil prices in a deck of 90 to 110. Obviously, that's wrong. So again, now they have to go through the period. You go through denial, all the stages of grief. You finally get to acceptance, and bang, you fire people. So I think that that's what the bond market has sniffed out. Now, you can disagree with we get pushback on it, so that's the answer. But what's not pushing back is the bond market. The bond market, the deflationary signals, you can go from everything from German break-evens to CRB index. It's all telling you the same thing. So the market's not pushing back on our call. I think that the last of the Mohicans and the other big pushback is really, they're classic because they're late cycle. So can the late cycle continue? Can we get this like effervescent CapEx cycle, which we have not had, by the way? Can we get wage inflation? That's another one I get pushback on. People say it's coming. Well, I'm still waiting. It wasn't in the most recent jobs report. And by the way, this whole concept of firing people in North Dakota is going to be degrading to wages in this country because these were very high wages. Same thing in Canada. The highest wages in the country are in Alberta. So again, the pushback, it's the same pushback that we should always get when something's not evidently happening or obviously happening yet. People should push back.